Anyone who has ever had the good fortune to travel into space has always said that the experience is unparalleled. The breathtaking view of our world as it spins through space, seeming so tranquil and serene from a distance, most likely left a lasting effect on each astronaut. However, not every description of the experiences of space travelers presents such a tranquil image. In reality, a few astronauts have previously spoken up about strange, occasionally eerie things that happen to them in space. Now you may learn about the enigmatic accounts that have amazed us. Join us on our galaxy trip to the most incredible cosmic occurrences and mysteries by subscribing to our channel. Please remember to click the thumbs up symbol to let us know you enjoy the information in our films. Unaccounted for items. Cosmonaut Vladimir Kovalenok was finishing up his duties on the Salyut orbital station on May 5, 1981. During his subsequent return voyage, he peered out of the spacecraft's viewport and gasped at what he saw. Kovalenok detailed the very amazing events he saw on his space mission 10 years later during open news conferences. He spoke about an ill-defined object that seemed to violate all known physical principles. The thing appeared to be spinning quickly and had an elliptic form. The vague vision vanished in a golden explosion after a little while. Following another explosion, two golden shimmering spheres materialized. The astronaut then observed a white smoke formation before his ship ultimately entered the Earth's twilight zone. And then the space traveler's view of the astounding phenomenon vanished. Unusual music, the first human landing on the moon, was being prepared for in full force in May 1969. The Apollo 10 crew reached the moon's closest regions to perform a dress rehearsal for their upcoming trip to the moon 2 months before Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped foot there. So, from a distance of around 15 kilometers, astronauts Tom Stafford, Eugene Cernan, and John Yang were busy investigating the Earth-facing side of the moon. However, strange sounds emanated from the astronauts' headphones as they were taking pictures of the lunar surface. In fact, it appeared as though the mysterious noises were creating a song. Nobody could figure out what was making the enigmatic lunar music. The event persisted for nearly an hour in total. According to official claims, radio interference was most likely to blame for the noises. The participating astronaut, who was used to this type of technological interference, claimed they had never heard anything like that before. Moon landing UFO sightings are ancestors who came from space, written by Maurice Chatelain, the former director of NASA's Communications Systems section, was very divisive at the time. The former NASA employee, as the work's title implies, was a supporter of what is known as pre-astronautics. This parascientific theory is predicated on the idea that extraterrestrial intelligent entities once lived on Earth many millennia ago and were actively engaging with humanity at the time. Monumental structures like the Egyptian pyramids or the well-known Stonehenge are said to have been visited by people in the distant past. There has been a lot of debate over a certain passage from our cosmic forebears. It describes the last few seconds before a man set foot on the moon in 1969. Tu and Anlu is claimed to have passed over the lunar surface as Neil Armstrong descended the spacecraft's ramp. According to reports, Edwin Buzz Aldrin took a number of pictures that included the enigmatic flying objects. After Armstrong spent 2 minutes on the moon's surface, there was complete radio silence. The reason given by NASA for this is that one of the two TV cameras overheated, momentarily interrupting the broadcast to Earth. On the subject of what pictures were withheld from the Earth's populace at the time, opinions remain mixed to this day. Neil Armstrong never denied the reports of flying saucers. Despite this, many individuals sincerely think that such an encounter occurred in conjunction with the first lunar landing. Strange runoff. Yang Lei became the first Chinese astronaut in history in 2003. The Washenzhou 5 space mission, however, was marred by an extremely peculiar occurrence. On the calm night of October 16, Ian Levy heard some strange noises that he was unable to place in any reasonable context. Later, the astronaut claimed that the noises sounded like a hammer was being struck on the spacecraft's hull. The Chinese account was first disregarded as a deceptive sensory illusion since space is a vacuum. The fact that two other Chinese astronauts heard the same knocks in following flights appeared all the more puzzling as a result. A space serpent. In Musgrave's past, Franklin has taken part in 6 space parachutes. Few people have traveled as widely as this American. Musgrave spent around 54 days outside the planet between 1983 and 1996. The astronaut in 1994 related a tale that was nearly unreal. It has not yet been forgotten. The astronaut claimed to have seen unidentified snake-like things in orbit on 2 of his trips. The length of the items was judged to be around 7 meters. Musgrave is also adamant that there are many different kinds of living things in the cosmos. In fact, according to the former astronaut, the cosmos is home to many civilizations, indubitably more developed than humans. Mysterious phenomenon with lights. Leroy Chao, an American astronaut, famously claimed that believing we are the only species in the cosmos would be the height of hubris. This claim is backed up by a puzzling incident that took place in 2005. Chao had been in charge of the International Space Station for 6.5 months at the time. About 370 kilometers above the Earth's surface, the astronaut was fixing antennae when he noticed an astonishing light phenomena that he was unable to comprehend. In particular, he saw glowing things organized symmetrically next to one another. After flying by Chao, the elongated light forms vanish into the limitless cosmos. Others contend that the phenomenon truly had an earthly source, despite the fact that many individuals have the firm belief that the events were mysterious forms of cosmic origin. Eerie-looking UFOs. The usual flying saucer comes to mind when we think of the traditional UFO from the world of science fiction. However, this distinctive form was not present in the enigmatic item that two astronauts, Ed White and James McNine, spotted flying above Hawaii. The two men painted a metallic object with limb-like features protruding from its fuselage for no apparent reason. A luminous thing. Throughout his career, cosmonaut Musa Monarov spent a total of 541 days in space. One specific day in 1991, nevertheless, was significantly unlike from the other space traveler missions. Monarov saw an oblong building while traveling to the Mir space station and had the foresight to take a picture of it. Images clearly depict the brilliant object appearing to light up repeatedly. The filmed structure, as worthless as ordinary space debris, according to official explanations, is something Monarov has consistently vehemently disputed. Gordon Cooper's Finding Gordon Cooper was the youngest of all possible space passengers on April 9, when NASA introduced the first 7 astronauts in its history. Cooper launched into space for the first time on May 15, 1963, as part of the Mercury Atlas 9 mission. Even more notable than the space trips, the American was to join the Gemini program's core crew 2 years later, is the unsettling image Cooper noticed in 1951. It is alleged that a former Air Force pilot unintentionally flew through a massive Anello cluster on a normal flight. The American saw more strange things after this, though. He spotted a shimmering green object that appeared to be coming at him quickly while on board the Mercury capsule in May 1963. Records from the Muchie tracking station in Western Australia, which saw the item on its radars, corroborated the astronaut's claim, a mystery item on the moon's surface. On November 19, Alan Bean became the 4th person ever to step foot on the moon. From 1969 until 1973, the astronaut flew his 2 space missions. He installed a unique isotope battery aboard the Earth's satellite during the moon landing to supply the required power for upcoming studies. The American eventually returned to the cabin of his lunar module Intrepid after around 7 hours and 45 minutes. Alan claims that when visiting the moon, he noticed something gleaming there that reminded him of the leather and shoes on Earth. Nobody has ever been able to identify the odd item. On May 26, 2018, Alan Bean passed away at the age of 86. It's your time now. Which piece of information most surprised you? We're interested in reading your comments on today's video, as well as any criticism, ideas, and recommendations you may have. We appreciate your interest, and we'll see you again soon.